Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Light back in another YouTube video. And in today's video we're going to be doing, let's talk a bit about the Morbius movie. So, yeah, my apologies, like I haven't really been talking about this movie too much, and that's for a good reason. But anyways, let's get into it. So yeah, Morbius, a movie that was late so many times. More times than I can count. I think it's like originally like 12 times or something like that. Like I know this movie is supposed to technically come on back like a few years ago or something. But yeah, they like severely delayed it and stuff. Uh I'm pretty sure now they're moving with this final date of like I can't remember the exact date. I think it's like mid-April or something. Uh but I think they're actually moving forward with this date. And I don't think they're gonna delay it anymore, so it's safe to make this video now anyways. So yeah, that's good to say. Uh Yeah, sorry, not mid-April. It's intended to be April 1st. So yeah, I'm pretty sure they're gonna at least keep it in that time frame. My guess, if they're ever to postpone it again, it'd probably be like mid-April, maybe. I don't think they would really be putting it like to like far away or something like that. So yeah, I'm gonna cross my fingers. I'm not 100% sure though, but I mean it's most likely that it won't get delayed again. So don't worry. Um, cause yeah, they did put out their final trailer earlier on today. So yeah, anyways, let's get into it. So yeah, in this video, I'm not gonna break down the trailer. I'm just gonna more so talk about my biggest questions leading into this movie. You could count it somewhat as a what I want to see video, even though this is coming out way before the movie comes out, like a month, well not a month, but a few weeks before. But yeah, I mean it's just a general let's talk. Let's talk about what I think might happen, who's coming, whatever. So, I remember specifically back, I think this was last year, or no, not even last year, like 2 years ago, 2020. I remember essentially we ended up seeing a Morbius trailer, and at the time I was like, who wants this? Like, this doesn't make no sense. This doesn't really make too much sense. Like, who like really wanted this? Because there's so many different characters they could have done with this. And if you know Morbius, you know he's a straight up villain. He's not very much like, or he is an anti-hero in some storylines and stuff. But I mean, he's more say a pure Spider-Man villain. So when this movie came out and it was told to be a solo Morbius movie with no involvement of Spider-Man, many people like me were like, how does that make any sense? Like, that's kind of strange to see and stuff. And exactly that's what I'm saying. Like it was very strange. Then we watch a trailer and stuff, and that's when it started to click into what was going on. There's plenty of Easter eggs if you want to watch the trailers and stuff. There's plenty of Easter eggs as well as new characters and stuff. But there isn't really much in terms of what this actual story is. That's like the biggest question. What's gonna happen? Now, after watching the final trailer, I can confidently say I have some sort of theory-ish to maybe what I think is gonna go on. So first of all, I want to say, let's get into like the characters of who's in it. So firstly, we obviously know Michael Morbius is played by actually Jared Leto. He's getting his technically second shot at playing a comic book character, unless he's played another one. I'm not fully sure, but it's like the main kind of the main kind of comic book characters. So yeah, this is like his second time playing characters. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, and he's playing Morbius, so that's pretty interesting. Uh, so yeah, we know that's happening. We also need seen that the Vulture is supposed to appear, or Adrian Toomes. I don't think he's gonna be the Vulture in this movie. He's just gonna be Adrian Toomes. So he's gonna be in it again, played by Michael Keaton as well. We also saw there's gonna be a few different appearances from other characters that currently right now are kind of like unknown of sorts. Uh, Firstly, we know a character who's played by Tyrese Gibson is gonna be in this as well, which is pretty cool. He's a pretty funny actor. I like him as an actor. He's pretty cool. As well as Matt Smith's going to be in it. So I'm interested to see what exactly this is. And actually, I was just reading it. Essentially, Matt Smith's going to be playing somebody named I don't know if I might mispronounce his name, Loxus Crown. I think that's how you pronounce his name. But he is essentially going to going to sorry, he's essentially going to be playing Loxus Crown. So that's pretty interesting. Uh, and that ties into my theory of exactly what's going to go on, what I think might happen. So first of all, from the looks of the trailer, we could see this is going to be a full blown origin story. We could also see it's very not strange, but it's very in the dark of exactly what Morbius is in terms of hero, supervillain, whatever. Uh, because I feel as if just the way Sony is, I don't expect them to be really making him a full on bad guy. I expect him to be a bad guy, but I mean, I expect him to be more so on the better side of being a bad guy and stuff. Like perhaps he helps them and stuff. So I'm curious to see what goes on with that. Um, yeah, so we know that's gonna happen, and he essentially gets infected with something that turns him into a vampire essentially because he essentially has some rare blood disease. If you've read the comics and stuff, you know his origin story and whatnot, or even watch. I think they even do it in the Spider-Man '90 show as well. Uh, yeah, they somewhat do it in the Ultimate Spider-Man show. I remember watching that and stuff and seeing Morbius. So yeah. Anyways, if you want to learn the character better, I definitely recommend watching one of those shows. So yeah, we could expect it's probably gonna go into his origin as well. What Adrian Toomes has to do with this, I have no clue. That's what's generally making me curious. As well as what I think Lox's Crown's role in it. So in the final trailer, it comes pretty clear that it doesn't look like Lox's Crown and Morbius are like on the same alliance or something. They look like they could be some sort of enemy, which is what I'm thinking might happen. I think Lox's Crown is going to be like that villain sort character to this Morbius. And it kind of worries me a bit because they might be trying to do the same kind of Venom thing where it's like Venom's versus another symbiote or something, whereas Morbius is fighting another vampire. So I'm curious like what that is going to do with that kind of thing. So I'm curious to see what goes on with that. But I mean, I'm interested to kind of maybe see like that vampire fight. That'd be pretty cool. Uh, in terms of like, will he turn into a vampire? That's another question. I'm genuinely curious about. I mean, obviously they're probably gonna save it for the movie or something, but I mean, yeah, we do know he's a vampire as well. So yeah. In terms of, I think Tyrese Gibson, he's playing some sort of like FBI agent or cop or something. I don't think he's gonna be deeply into like the villain and stuff. Now, where Adrian Toomes comes in, honestly, in terms of why I think they put him in instead of saying like what his theory is, sorry, it honestly I think they just did that to put in more, get more people to watch the movie, I guess, because more people would realize, oh, that's the Vulture. This must be cool. This is a Spider-Man movie, or something to involve Spider-Man with. Because I know it not honestly. I'm gonna be straight up. Most people wouldn't watch this movie if that scene would have kind of didn't come in or whatever. People would be like, "What the hell is Morbius? Why does it say Spider-Man?" Or like Morbius is not very. Again, Morbius is not. It's one of those characters that's not very well known. Just a lot of people know him from that TV show back in the '90s. That's how I've heard a lot of people got introduced to him and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. Uh, so yeah, we know about that, and like that's pretty much it. Oh, in terms of like what we know. I mean, we don't know really too much. Honestly, I could say, in my personal opinion, I'm just gonna watch the movie and honestly think of what I think. I mean, I don't know what I'm gonna watch it. Honestly, I might. Or actually, sorry. One last thing I forgot to talk about on the topic of the movie, is in terms of where it does take place and like what universe. Because there's another thing I forgot to mention is actually in the movie, or sorry, one of the trailers. He's literally like, "I'm Venom," which, if you know, Venom has never really been in the MCU, and technically, this Adrian Toomes is in the MCU. So that's where it's like questionable exactly where this takes place. As well as we saw in one of the trailers, we saw in the background a Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, which was spray painted murder across from it. So I have no clue. I'm not really sure exactly where this takes place. I hope they thin it out in the movie or whatever. So yeah. But I mean, I'll definitely check it out once it comes out or whatever. But anyways, like, I'm not sure when all my review would be up. Probably in a few months, something like that. But I mean, that's pretty much it though. Thanks for watching. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.